Perfect. Yeah, we got ourselves 17 people now.
That's
That's
great.
awesome. Yeah, that's really awesome.
All right.
Yeah,
Well, I guess we'll go ahead and kick it off then, yeah?
let's do it.
Okay, sounds great. So welcome everybody. I just wanted to say before we officially kick things off that I do have one small housekeeping item, and that is to let you all know that there is a portion of this training that is pre-recorded, and we do that to keep it nice and clean, the presentation part of it nice and clean, and then also it makes it really easy for us to distribute it quickly afterwards. So there will be like a video portion, but during any time of the training, if you have any questions, you go ahead and you click on that Q&A icon at the bottom of your Zoom screen and just type in your question, and then we're going to save questions till the end, and then we'll answer all those questions live here on the live training. So with that said, I'd like to introduce myself. I'm Jessica Miller with ShortStack. I've been with the company for almost 9 years now, and I am the customer success strategist, which basically means that I do my best to help our users learn the ropes and learn how to be successful with our software. Now, I would like to hand you over to Adam, my counterpart, who will introduce himself.
Hey, everybody. I'm Adam Himmler. I'm the sales vice president for ShortStack. I've been here for over 9 years now. Some of you I recognize on here, so I have talked to some of you myself already, which is awesome. Thank you for joining us. And excited to talk today with you guys about social media tools that our platform provides, specifically hashtags, Twitter, Instagram, comment to enter for Facebook and Instagram. So there's a lot of overlap today with what options we have and what platforms they work on. So we're going to dive into all of that over our video, like Jessica mentioned, and then we will get into questions and talk about a few different setups live with all of you while we answer those questions. So I think we're good to start with the video. Yeah, Jessica?
Yep, I think we're good to go.
Awesome. All right, let's go.
Social media contests are great for your business because they allow you to integrate your online marketing with your social media audiences and help you to gain actual, measurable results such as boosted engagement, lead collection, and maybe even an increase in sales. There are two categories of social media contests that we're going to talk about today. The contests that can be ran within social media platforms, such as hashtag contests, comment to enter contests, and retweet contests. Then there are the kind that are hosted from a landing page that you can build with ShortStack. These types of contests allow participants to use their social media content, such as posts from Instagram or TikTok, as entries. First, we're going to take a look at hashtag contests because they're probably the most popular and also they're the most versatile of the social media contests. In a nutshell, here's how a hashtag contest works. You'll ask participants to use a branded hashtag when making a post on either Twitter or Instagram. On Twitter, they just need to use this branded hashtag. On Instagram, they need to use the hashtag as well as a mention of the business's business profile, and the account does need to be public. Then what you'll do is set up a hashtag feed in ShortStack, and all of the posts with these specified parameters will be pulled into a feed automatically. You can either leave it at that and just use the list of entries in ShortStack to choose a winner at random. This makes it really simple to choose a winner. Also, it makes it completely fair because it really is at random. But if you wanted to take your hashtag contest to the next level, you could build a landing page to display these entries in a gallery. Doing this also unlocks a few more things that you can do with your contest. For example, you can enable voting. And you can also incentivize lead collection by offering an extra chance to win by including an entry form in your landing page. This example from Cruise Lines International Association pulled in over 100,000 entries. All they did was ask participants to post a photo with the hashtag CruiseSmile. This giveaway is long over, so you can see the sampling of entries here in this case study that we wrote. Next, we're going to take a look at comment to enter contests. Comment to enter contests can be ran from a post on Instagram or Facebook and look something like this. In this post, Wed2Be asks participants to comment with who will be able to see them in their wedding dress before the big day. Wed2Be runs these comment contests all the time, asking brides to comment with all kinds of wedding tidbits such as who their ring bearer will be or where they dreamed of getting married when they were young, and even what their bridesmaids' dresses will look like. It's just a fun way to boost engagement with their social media audience. When running comment to enter contests, you can then import the comments into a list in ShortStack, which, as I mentioned with the hashtag contest, makes it really easy to choose a winner, and it's also really fair because the winner is chosen truly at random. Now we'll take a look at retweet contests. Retweet contests are great for promoting your tweeted content. For example, if you had some sort of announcement or wanted to promote some sort of digital content on Twitter, you can offer an entry into a giveaway for a retweet and help that info go viral. ShortStack pulls these retweets and quoted tweets into a feed, which will include the username, text, image or video in the tweet, and also the original tweet and any message that is included in a quoted tweet. It pulls these tweets into a feed just like it would a hashtag feed or a list of comments. Here's an example from Samsung announcing their new Galaxy earbuds. They're asking participants to retweet with a few branded hashtags to help further boost brand awareness. Now, let's take a look at a few social media contests that are hosted from within a landing page and utilize social media content as entries. This is a TikTok contest, which is really simple to build and even more simple to enter. The entry form includes a field in which a URL for a TikTok video can be entered. The TikTok videos will be displayed in a gallery. Once again, you have the option to enable voting or just leave voting off. So if you wanted to run an Instagram contest, you could set it up exactly the same way. The link to the Instagram post would be submitted in a field in a form, and then the post would be displayed here in a gallery. Okay, so now that you've seen a few of these contests in action, Adam's going to tour you through our social media contest templates, as well as show you how some of these features, such as how to import comments, are set up in ShortStack.
Thank you, Jessica. So as Jessica mentioned, you can run hashtag contests with ShortStack, comment to enters, and retweets without creating a landing page. Now, you still can create a landing page, which there are some advantages to doing that when running these types of contests. One would be for information, so you can display a landing page and advertise that, direct all your traffic to there and say, hey, we have this contest going on, here's how you can enter, here's where you enter, here's what we're looking for, and here's what the prize is. That's a lot of information that you can provide in a much more easier to digest manner with a landing page built with ShortStack. And then another reason why you would create a landing page is to have a gallery of posts that you pulled from, let's say, Twitter and Instagram. Especially if you're going to create great content, photos, videos, you can display those on the landing page, let people see them, share them. If you want to do voting, that's an option too. You have a lot of options on what you can do with those entries. Now, before I get into actually creating a landing page and going over that with you, what I prefer to do is create what we call the feed first, the feed being the setup where we pull in posts from Twitter and Instagram. So to do that, you will log into your ShortStack account, and then up along the top, you will see the word feeds. Click on that. And we're going to, we're not going to prompt you. First thing we're going to do is we're going to show you the screen where you see all the feeds that you've created. If I click new feed, I will be prompted with creating either a Twitter feed or an Instagram feed. Now, for our purposes here, I will go ahead and do the Twitter feed. It's a simpler process. Instagram, there's a lot of Facebook things that you have to worry about, and we have great documentation that goes over all of that. So for time purposes, I'm going to go with Twitter. So I select Twitter, authorize app, which is just making sure that we are who we say we are when it comes to Twitter. So the first thing here is we're going to say name your contest. So you will pick any name you want. That's just going to be for internal purposes. So I'm going to say live training list. And then select a company profile. So this portion of setting up the feed won't really affect how we collect your entries. The company profile is meant for our other feature, the rights management feature, where you can request the rights to a person's tweets or their Instagram posts. So that comes into play later if you're using that particular feature. We still need you to set up a company profile, so go ahead and do that if you haven't. Another reason why we have company profiles is because of our email features that we provide. Then the next part is where will you store your entries? So this is basically asking you what list, if there is one, do you want these entries to go into? And a list with ShortStack is where you can segment your entries in. So if you ran 5 contests, you have 5 lists. Each contest's entries are separated from the rest. Now, you can automatically create a new list by leaving the drop down where it's at, and it'll take the name of the name your contest up at the top. Or you can click that drop down and select a list from all those that you've already made. Now you might be asking, why would I connect it to a different list? Why would I not make a new one? Well, you would connect it to another list if you want to combine your Twitter entries with your Instagram entries or your form entries. You need to make sure that you use the same list when you are trying to take that type of approach. So in other way of explaining that is, if you want to provide your entrant a way to enter through a form, Twitter, and Instagram, you can. On the back end of ShortStack, you would just make sure that all 3 options are connected to the same list. Now, I'm going to just automatically create a new list to begin with, so I'll hit continue. Now, we're going to ask you 2 options for what you want us to pull in. We have hashtags, which would mean they would put in one or multiple hashtags that you require on their tweet, or retweets. The retweet process is very simple. If you were to select that, the next screen, we would show you a field where you put in the tweet that you want us to track the retweets on. And then the time frame that you would want us to track that, and we'll pull in all of those retweets. For this purpose, I'm just going to go over hashtags. So I'll select hashtags, and the field up at the top is going to ask you which hashtag or multiple hashtags you want to require. Now, if I just keep it simple and say contest, then I will pull in any public posts within the time frame I set with hashtag contest in the tweet. If I want to narrow that down some more, say contest and maybe my brand name, I would say ShortStack. So now I'm looking for any public posts with the hashtag ShortStack and contest. Doesn't matter what order it's in, and it doesn't matter if they include additional hashtags. As long as those 2 are in there, then we'll pull that in. Now, if someone posts with just hashtag ShortStack, we will not pull that in at all. You might also notice here that I didn't actually put in the hashtag symbol. We're taking care of that for you already, so you just have to worry about putting in the words. And the next option is to include all entries. Now, if I keep it selected at all entries, that means I'll pull in photos and video posts. But if I click that drop down, I can select images or just entries with videos. And then manually approve entries. This will come into play with our landing page with the hashtag gallery on it. I highly recommend you keep that on manually approve entries. That way you can review your entries before they get displayed on the campaign. Hit continue. This is where you decide what the start date and the stop date will be for this particular contest. Now, 2 things to remember. First thing is with Twitter, we can go back up to 7 days in the past. So if you forgot to set this up and it's been within 7 days, then you're all set. We'll be able to pull in those older tweets. With Instagram, we cannot go back in the past. So you have to make sure you set this up before you start telling people to post to Instagram. So select your start date and your stop date. This is a very customizable option here, so you can just type in exactly what you're looking for and we'll convert it to the right format. Then under time zone, you'll tell us what time zone, obviously, that you want us to adhere these times to. So if you said this ends at 6 p.m., then it'll be 6 p.m. Eastern time, if that's the date or the time zone that I selected. Under advanced settings, you can blacklist people based on their username, their handle, and then you can set a maximum entry per handle. So tell us if it's 1, then the very first public post that they create with the proper hashtags, we'll pull in that one, but none other from that person if they continue to post. If maximum entries is set to 1 per user. Hit continue. You'll see an overview of the whole, what we call the feed, to make sure all the settings are correct. Hit save and exit, and you're all set. Now you might be asking, okay, what's the difference between Twitter and Instagram? Well, as I mentioned, Instagram does require certain permissions with regard to Facebook, because Facebook is Instagram, Instagram is Facebook, which we have help documentation that will go over that for you. But the other important thing to remember about Instagram, you have to require an @ mention. So let's say ShortStack was running an Instagram contest. I would tell people to post to Instagram with @Instagram hashtag contest. Then I I, being ShortStack, will be able to pull in all those public posts that match those two requirements into my account so I can select a winner or do with them as I need to based on my promotion. All right, before we get into the landing pages, we've gone over setting up a feed, which we just did with Twitter and talked about Instagram. Now what I want to do is talk about the other social media tool that we provide, which is our comment to enter. One of the easiest ways to get to the comment to enter option is to first go to your dashboard in your ShortStack account, and then up at the top you'll select the social import option right below your username and the help area. So select social import and we'll provide you two options. We have timeline and Instagram. So timeline would be your Facebook account. You would have a Facebook post on your page where people have commented, reacted to it, and with our system, we'll be able to pull in all the people who have reacted to it or commented on it. So if I select Facebook timeline, you'll name your list. Now going back to lists, we need to create a list for this. So name your list. So we'll say Facebook import list. Hit continue. Now you have three options. You can do organic posts. So that's a post that you created on your Facebook page organically, like anything else. Then there are dark posts. These, for the more heavily involved Facebook users, dark posts are going to be posts that don't show up on your page, but you have set up and you're targeting very specific audience. And then ads, where ads are ads, I guess. So whichever one of these posts is where you engage with your audience and you're having them comment on it, you'll select the one that you want to pull from. So we'll say organic posts for this training. You're going to see a list of all of the Facebook pages that you're an admin of. Select the one that you want to pull from. And then immediately you will see a list of all of the Facebook posts on your page. Find the one that you want to pull from. I'm going to pull one from the Jack on the Stack post that we did on our ShortStack page. From here, I see currently that it has reactions and comments. So I will select it. Now you have some options here. We can import users who have reacted at and or commented on the post. So that would mean if I reacted, let's say I liked the post and I commented, then I would be on there 2 times. Or if I want to, I can set it to reacted at the post. So I would only pull in people that have liked or otherwise reacted to the post, or I can pull in people who have just commented on the post. Now, if you want to allow for multiple entries per user, you would select the next box. So if I commented more than once, or I reacted more than once, or whatever it might be. And then under comments, we can import comment reactions as votes. So let's say you create a Facebook post and say, hey, post a picture of your Halloween costume, and the one with the most reactions wins. We can take care of that for you by importing in the reactions and turning them into the number of votes. Then we can also import photos from comments as well. So we'll hit import and close. And now within about, I'd say about probably 2 to 5 minutes, we'll pull in all the content from that post, all the handles, the comments themselves, and those who reacted. And now they'll be available in your ShortStack account where you can easily select a winner from them. And then one of the best practice ways of getting back to that user is you would comment back onto your own post, tagging that person, say, hey, Mr. So-and-so, you have won our prize. Reach out to us and we'll discuss options on how to get you your prize. All right, so let's talk about Instagram real quick because that also has a comment to enter. It's the same approach with Instagram, but the only difference is we cannot pull in likes. Instagram doesn't allow that. We can only pull in the comments. So if you are going to run an Instagram contest, I would highly recommend just to tell people to comment on it. Don't tell them to like the post as well, because we or any other third-party platform would not be able to help you out in pulling those in. And we just created a great resource on comment to enter contests, which we'll make sure to include in our chat, and I would imagine the wrap-up video for this as well. Okay, let's talk about landing pages now. So we've set up a feed, and now I want to display that in a page with a gallery of the posts that I've collected. So easiest way to get there is to start with one of our hashtag contest gallery templates. So I'm going to go into our S2 templates and I'm going to select the one that we have. And then When it opens up, you'll see that it has an entry widget. That's the key part of this whole setup of a landing page. I'm going to open up the entry widget settings, and in the first section, it'll say entry source. You'll see an option where it says show entries from, and then a name of a list. Currently, it says hashtag contest gallery dash hashtag gallery feed. What I want to do is I want to click on, so you're going to see a screen of all of the lists in my ShortStack account. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the list that I just made for that Twitter feed. Now, luckily, I named it something simple. I called it Live Training List Feed. So I will select it and then hit save and exit. And now all the entries that I've pulled in from that feed are going to be displayed on this landing page. And then I can update this landing page further to say, hey, post to Twitter, use this hashtag, do this, here's what the prize is, so on and so forth. It can be informative, and it can also be interactive and engaging because I'm displaying these entries. You know, if I have videos on there, people can watch them, they can share them, so it goes full circle. People post it, people share it, people check out my brand because I'm getting people to post on Instagram and or Twitter using my designated hashtags. All right, now let's say you want to include a form option. You know, not everybody's on social media and you want to give everyone an opportunity to enter. So what you would do is you would grab a form widget, bring it into your your campaign, and then much like the entry widget, you're going to go into the entry destination section of your form widget, and where it says store entries in, I'll click that drop down and make sure it's connected to the same list as my entry widget. The same list as my feed, which I called Live Training List Feed. By doing that, I have now added in the second option of how people can enter, and they can do that by filling out the form. So now if you fill out the form and if you post to Twitter, then you get 2 entries into the contest. There's really no way around that. We can't limit it to just one or the other, but hopefully you will be opening it up to more of your audience who may not be on Twitter. All right. Now, this next one doesn't really fit in the social media setup that we've been talking about, you know, engaging with an Instagram post or posting to Twitter or retweeting something. But TikTok is a very popular social media platform these days, and they do provide an option where you can run a contest. And the way it would work, and the best way to get started with this, is to start with an S2 template, which we have a TikTok designated template. So you go into S2 templates and then go to contests, and you'll see TikTok video contest template. So I'm going to hover over that and I'm going to say use this template. Now, I'm not going to really get into it too much, but the key thing about this template is it uses a form. You have to have that with TikTok. You might be saying, well, I know TikTok has hashtags. Well, they do. You're absolutely right, but they don't provide a way for platforms like us to pull in posts based on that hashtag. Not like Twitter and Instagram provide. Maybe someday. But for now, a participant has to fill out a form, and what they will do is they will create the video and put it on TikTok, and then grab the URL, and they'll put it into this TikTok field button that we have on the form. So I select the TikTok icon, I'll put in my TikTok video URL, and fill out the rest of the form, and now my TikTok video will be displayed in the gallery below. Now you might be saying, well, you know what, can we do TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter? Absolutely. Just remember, all you would have to do is make sure that your Twitter feed, your Instagram feed, and your form are all connected to the same list. So then no matter how someone enters, their entry is grouped together with everybody else's. All right, well, I think that's it for going over the setups and the different kind of templates that we have. You know, as always, there's a lot of options with ShortStack, and we try to put out as much content as we can. But I'm going to turn it back over to Jessica real quick so she can talk about some more finer details.
Thanks, Adam. That was really great and so comprehensive. Since we covered so much ground today, I just wanted to go back over some of the details of these social media contests. For starters, which plans allow you to set up which contests? Comment to enter contests are available on all of the plans, whereas hashtag and retweet contests are available on our agency plan and higher plans with one stipulation. The agency plan allows you to run 2 feeds at the same time, whereas the brand plan allows you to run unlimited feeds. And then just to go over the hashtag feed parameters one more time. On Twitter, the post need only include that hashtag that you set up, or multiple hashtags if that's what you set up. However, on Instagram, the post will need to include the mention of the business profile as well as the hashtag or multiple hashtags that you set up. Also, the participant is going to have to set their profile to public. Now, really quickly, I just wanted to mention our rights management feature, which is available on our brand plan. If you wanted to use any of the content that you collect in your contest for future marketing, you can use rights management to add a comment to the participant's post requesting rights. We have support documentation outlining how this works as well. Now, take note of the links on your screen. This is where you can get in touch with us while you're setting up these contests and features on your own. But of course, while we have you here, we'd love to answer any questions that you have about social media contests.
All right. Thank you, Jessica, for putting together that video for us. Really appreciate it. So yeah, if those of you that are still on the call have questions, there's the Q&A area in the Zoom call toolbar. So please post your questions there. We're trying to talk about social media tools today, but of course, if you have a question about something else and we have time, I'd be happy to tackle that question for you. So don't be shy, ask us the questions. And while we're doing that, I am going to go over the platform in a little bit of detail. Mainly, I'm going to go over how to create a feed and then go into a landing page if we have time. I'm going to go ahead and start my video back up so you can all see my lovely face. There we go. Oh, it looks like we do have a question here. Amy, like I said, #1 fan, shows up every week, always has a question. That's fantastic. Is there a maximum number of days that I can set up a feed for? And is there a maximum number of comments I can pull in? The answer is no and no. So you can set up a feed as far into the future as you want. And this is actually a very good question for right now, since I was going to create a feed. So let's jump into there. So remember, with Instagram, we cannot go back in the past. They won't let us retroactively grab older posts. It has to happen within the time frame that you have set ahead of time. Twitter, 7 days in the past. That's not a problem. And then with both Twitter and Instagram, you can go as far into the future as you want. I've had clients that they have hashtags that are kind of associated with their brand or that people commonly use when talking about their brand. So they'll set up a feed within ShortStack for the length of time that they're using us just to sit there and collect user-generated content. And if they find some great information, then that's when they use our rights management tool to communicate with those people and say, hey, love your content, love your image, whatever it might be. Can we use this? And that's, for a company, a fantastic way to get real life content from your audience that you can then use for your own marketing purposes versus staging something with actors or props. You're getting real life people. There's nothing in it for them. They're just showing the gratitude of what you're providing, whether it's a service or a product, and what better media or content to show to your audience than that. So that's really one of the most powerful things about Twitter and Instagram and the tools that we provide, because then it's just full circle. Instead of just seeing it, you're like, oh, wow, that looks great on Instagram. I wish we could use that. Use a platform like ShortStack. We pull it in, make it much easier for you to be able to use it. All right. Oh, and your other question here, Amy, is there a maximum number of comments I can pull in? So the answer there would be no. Pulling in comments, doesn't matter how many there are, you just do it at the end of your promotion. So you'd say, hey, you can enter the last day, November 1st, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So you as a user, you would go into your ShortStack account and you would use our import comment tool to import in all the comments at that time and then randomly select a winner or do with them as you need to for your promotion. All right. Fantastic questions. Please feel free to keep them coming, especially if you're just unsure about anything. There's no right or wrong questions. Just just ask what you want to ask and we'll answer them to the best of our ability. So I'm going to create an Instagram feed. So I'll select Instagram. As I mentioned in the video, you're going to see a list of, well, actually in our video, I didn't go over Instagram. We went over Twitter. So you're actually going to see some things here that you didn't see in the video. So with Instagram, I'm going to see a list of all of the pages that I'm connected to. This is the Facebook page, and this is the corresponding Instagram page. By selecting this option here, I'm designating the @mention of ShortStack Lab. So I select that, and now the process is the same moving forward. So that's the best thing about our Instagram and Twitter feeds is once you get past that initial select the page, the process moving forward is identical for both. So name your contest, that's for internal purposes. So we'll just call this live training test. That company profile that we talked about, I'll just leave it on ShortStack. And then where will you store your entries? Just to hit on the just to remind everyone on this, we can either create a new list, so all the entries you're collecting moving forward will go into this new list that we're making. Or if I'm doing a promotion where I have entries coming from Instagram and Twitter and a form, then I need to make sure that I'm using the same list across the board. So we'll just create a new list. I hit continue. And then this is where you designate a hashtag. Now, one note about Instagram is you actually don't have to put in a hashtag here. You can just keep the designation of @ShortStackLab, or, well, that's me keeping the designation of @ShortStackLab. If you're Pepsi or if you're whomever, you could just keep the @mention as the sole requirement. And then what will happen is we'll pull in everything with just that @mention within your time frame. That is a great way to get content for your brand because they're specifically mentioning you in their post. Now, best practice when running a contest is to do an @mention and then use a hashtag. That way you're creating a segment on Instagram specific to your promotion versus collecting everything and trying to figure out, did they mean to participate or are they just showing us some love on Instagram? So I'll put in a hashtag here. I'm going to include all entries, but if I wanted to do just images or if I wanted to do just videos, I can make those selections there. Click continue. And then this is where you select your start date and stop date. So again, Instagram, you cannot go back in the past, but you can go as far into the future as you want with the stop date. And the setup here is very flexible. I mean, I can literally say, all right, next Tuesday, 3 p.m. And then it'll automatically update. So it's very intuitive. Type in what you need. And then the stop date will be whatever that needs to be. And then the time zone will adhere to your time frame here. So if you said 10 a.m. Pacific time, then if you're on East Coast, that would actually be 1 a.m. their time. And then show advanced settings. You can blacklist people based on their username. So if you just have someone that's always like trolling you or whatever it might be, and you don't want to pull in their information, just put in their user handle there and you're all set. We won't grab their content. And then you can set a maximum number of entries per user in this field here. So for instance, if I set that to 1 and someone posts 3 times, it's the very first post that they create that will pull in. The other 2 we will ignore. I have a question here. Will an Instagram post be pulled in if someone tags the image? No, the tag, so tagging is for the media, the video, and @mention happens in the actual written copy of the post. So you have to make sure that you are instructing your participants to do an @mention in the copy of the post. That's for Twitter, that's for Instagram. Although I don't think Twitter has a tag option for their media, but I'm not on Twitter a whole lot myself, so sorry if I'm incorrect there, but it needs to be an @mention in the copy itself for Instagram. Now, quick note for you. Let's say you're running your promotion, you're a week into it, and someone reaches out and they're like, my entry didn't collect it. I don't see it on your guys' gallery. If you take a look at it and you see only the @mention, you don't see the hashtag, you could tell them, hey, go in, update the post with the right hashtag. And because it happens within the designated time frame, so I set mine here from the 17th to the 19th. If I tell them to fix it and they post it within that time frame, then we'll pull in their post. So not all is lost for those people when you go that route. All right, so I hit continue. I'm going to see an overview here of all of my settings to make sure everything is good to go. Now, if you overlook something, you're like, we're going to extend this out 5 more days. You can always go back into the feed and make an edit to your end date to go out further. That's not a problem. Hit save and exit, and you're all set. Now, just some back-end admin information for you. Some management items. So the thing with Instagram is you need to be logged into your Facebook account for the duration of the promotion. If one of 2 things happens, either if you log out or if you are removed as an admin or your permissions change to the specific page, then what you're going to see is there will be an error message and this will turn red. Don't fear. We're still collecting the entries for you, but what is going to happen is we kind of turn into the post office and you go on vacation. We're going to hold on to all your mail, or in this case, all your entries. When you come in and you update this, because what will happen is it'll turn red, you'll click on it, we'll have you log back into Facebook or fix your permissions. As soon as we see the correct connection that Facebook requires, then we're going to release all your mail or your entries back into your account. And during that time frame, if anybody posted, we'll have it, we'll put it in there, and you'll be all set. So make sure you don't log out, but if you do, we have you covered. All right, so I have that feed set up. If I want to display a feed into my ShortStack landing page, all I have to do is first create a new campaign. So we'll go ahead and do that. These are great questions, everyone. If you have more, feel free to ask. There's a lot of like do's and don'ts with social media, and it's kind of hard to know all the different setups or what all is required when running a promotion. So if you're still unsure about something, now's the time to ask the question. But of course, if it comes up later, you can reach out to us in our chat, our email support. We have great documentation and guides all available to help you out whenever you need it. So I'm going to create a campaign from S2, which little tidbit on that, S2 is our new version of our campaign builder. It's where all the new bells and whistles are going to be added. So whenever possible, start with an S2 campaign. And then I'm going to, let's see here, we'll go to UGC and we will just go ahead and I'll grab a hashtag contest gallery. Now you might be saying, well, so if I want to show posts based on a hashtag, I have to start with that template. Not at all. Not even a little bit. All you have to do to make sure that your entries from Twitter, from Instagram, or all of the above are displayed in a gallery is when setting up your campaign, stick in an entry widget if you're using S2 or a voting widget if you're using S1 and connect it to the same list that those Instagram and Twitter entries are living. If that is what you've done, then those entries collected over here will display in your campaign over here. So I'll say use this template, create a campaign. So the idea behind this template is the main emphasis is collecting on Instagram, collecting on Twitter. This page is supposed to be informative and it's supposed to display the entries to let people know like, hey, here's the entries we're collecting. Do you want to get in our gallery? Post, here's how. Oh, here's the prize we're giving away. Just to kind of provide a more interactive approach to what you got going on. And for you as a brand, as a business, this gives you a controlled environment where you decide what gets displayed out of the entries collected versus telling people, hey, search by this hashtag and you'll see all the entries. You have no control over what gets shown. I could look at a hashtag and it is something that should not be seen by anybody and you don't want that to be associated with your brand. Whereas on this page, if that's where you're directing traffic to, you have control because of our moderation tools to decide what gets shown, how it gets shown, what have you. So I'm in the campaign builder. Here's my entry widget. I will click the pencil icon where it says show entries from. This is the name of my list that it's currently connected to. Click this to reveal your all the lists available in your ShortStack account. I will select the live training test feed. And now if I was actually collecting any posts from Instagram at the moment, those entries would be shown right there. So it's just a matter of connecting the dots. That common denominator is the list. So if you're using that list on a feed, on an import, on a form, and then you're using that list on the entry widget, then it's all connected. We'll collect entries from all those areas and then display them in the entry area on your gallery. All right. Well, I think our video just covered all the bases because it seems like questions have died down some. So Jess, was there anything that you wanted to add or touch on before we call it a day?
Yeah, actually, one quick thing. I just wanted to mention our next training, which is going to be November 19th. And it's going to be a little bit of a repeat of our social media, or I'm sorry, our holiday templates training that we did a week ago. But we have another template that we're going to be showing off. It's going to be our Win Your Wish List template. So if you, sorry, I have my daughters next to me. If you have so if you wanted to check out that template and watch us set it up, then, and you already participated in the last training, this one will be a little bit different. So we would encourage everybody to attend. I also wanted to let everyone know that you are welcome to send us feedback on these trainings. So if you would like us to keep them shorter, or if you want us to speak slower or anything, just send us an email to the team at shortstacklab.com. And then we'll, absolutely take that into consideration. So that's everything I have. Adam, do you have anything else?
I think some of the feedback is more of the baby on the call because he doesn't love cute, adorable girl. There she is.
Say hi, Penny.
Penny is our newest short stack addition. Always exciting to get new additions, and she's just a sweetheart. So we're very happy that she got to join us today, and maybe we'll get lucky again next week and she'll join us again. And for all of you that did join us today, really appreciate it. You guys are great. I hope you have success in using ShortStack. Don't hesitate to reach out to us at any time. And we're just looking forward to teaching you guys more about what can be done with our platform. And we're really excited to see what you guys are going to do. So with that, thank you so much, everybody. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you again soon.